Hello, and welcome to this review of The Devil You Know historical romance book series by Kerrigan Byrne. I'm Olivia, your new favorite resource for book recommendations you can easily screenshot, and you're watching Random Olive Reads. We start off with How to Love a Duke in 10 Days, which is book one of the series. As expected for any readers of Kerrigan Byrne, there was a huge amount of drama and emotional turmoil in this book. We start with a tragic prologue where Alexandra is attacked by her school headmaster and then defends herself, and then needs her friends to assist her in covering things up. To help her feel better, her two best friends reveal their own tragic secrets. As expected, the two friends will make up the main characters in the other two books of this series. Chapter 1 starts 10 years later when Alexandra is on her way to a Duke's masquerade ball where her friend is supposed to be announced as his fiance. What follows is a series of near death experiences, blackmail, family destitution, and this fearful pull that Alexandra has towards her friend's intended. Don't worry though, her friend's like not actually in love with the guy and it was an arranged marriage, so it's not like she's betraying her friend all that much. When she finds out about the allowance that the future Duchess will receive, though, she proposes that the Duke marry her instead of her friend. She's being blackmailed, so she needs the money. And then we have even more drama with the Duke's backstory, with his family history, being attacked, being scarred, being ditched by his fiance for his cousin, general mistrust of women. These two people just have a whole lot of baggage, and they have a whole lot of reasons for not trusting one another, but they still have this like innate pull to somehow feel safe around each other and then protect each other. I loved seeing them start to slowly melt towards each other. I would say great setup for the series. I loved all the books of the series. I can't even pick a favorite. The second book is All Scott and Bothered, and this is the type of book that makes the most sense when reading in series order, but works perfectly well on its own. We have another tragic prologue. We start with Cecilia as a child being cruelly punished by her vicar father, who turns out not to be her father. Cecilia gets locked in an isolated cell, sort of the basement, and she's deprived of food and water. The deprivation of food comes into play because she's overweight, and her father thinks that it's like gluttony or something like that. She ultimately gets rescued and taken away and sent to a school by a mysterious benefactor. This is where she eventually meets her friends who will make up the lead characters of the other books. The other main character of the story is Ramsay, the older brother of the Duke from book one. He has also had a harsh childhood and eventually has become one of the most powerful lawmen of England. He's very much attracted to Cecilia, but refuses to give in or to trust her. Suddenly, Cecilia inherits a gambling hell slash women's school from her aunt and is also accused of abducting young girls by our Lord Ramsay, even though he doesn't realize it's her at first because she's kind of in a disguise when he first comes to the gambling hell. These two end up in an antagonistic relationship, with Ramsay being overly accusatory but also kind of protective at the same time. Classic Kerrigan Byrne. There's eventually a need to escape the city and hide for protection, and a dramatic subplot with a 7-year-old ward that Cecilia has also inherited along with her gambling hell. There's a huge amount of drama here, but in a great way. And then to cap it all off, we have The Devil in Her Bed, which is book three of the series. We start again with another tragic prologue telling us about what's known as the Montclair Massacre, where the entire household was slaughtered and then burned to ashes. It seems that Pippa, the cook's daughter, has survived and now assumes the identity of Francesca, the countess. And now, as an adult, she's seeking revenge. As she gets deeper into infiltrating her enemy's lair, she catches the attention of an actual spy for the crown, Chandler, who is also targeting the same enemy. It turns out that Chandler is her childhood friend who had rescued her and who she was in love with, but he was always in love with Francesca. And then he believes that Francesca had truly survived the massacre, giving him like hope and the will to go on and blah, 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 blah. It's a tangle of desire and secrets here. It's also slightly heartbreaking for the woman who is actually in front of the man that she loves. And then, like, we know this big secret's going to drop. And what is his reaction going to be? Like, is he going to feel deceived? Is he going to embrace her? Because he was never in love with Pippa as a child. He was in love with Francesca. He also has his own secrets, so there's a whole big thing. It's really satisfying to read. I love this whole series. I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Links to all 3 of these books are in the description box. Like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and you can follow me on Instagram at randomolive.